Good morning, everyone. Hello and welcome to today's webinar. This is Rick Collins, Director of Sales here at PC Bennett Solutions, along with Uday Soni, PC Bennett Sales Engineer. I want to thank you for attending Acumatica's 2019 R1 New Features presented by PC Bennett Solutions. We have met and spoken with many of you here before, so I want to thank you for taking some time out of your day to spend with us here, looking at some of the highlights and new features and functionalities that came out with Acumatica 2019 R1 release a couple months ago. So I believe everyone on the call is an existing PC Bennett and Acumatica customer. So when we're done here, if you have any questions on your own instance of Acumatica or about upgrading, please reach out to Paul Purcell or myself. Before we get started, I wanted to point out a couple logistical items. We do have everybody on mute initially, but we would love to hear from you. So if you have any questions, please ask them in the questions area located on the Go to Webinar tab to your right. We will get to those questions at the end of the session. We expect this to last 30 to 40 minutes and again, allow some time at the end for any questions. We will be recording this, so we'll make it available to you later today. And so without further ado, let me introduce Uday Soni, our sales engineer. So Uday, I'm going to make you presenter and take it away.
Hey, good morning, everyone, and thank you again for joining this webinar. Basically, in this webinar, I will just be going through key 2019 R1 features that we at PC Bennett have really appreciated what Acumatica has come up with. And I'm on my landing page, and one of the newest features that they added is multi-factor authentication. So basically what it's doing is before you log in, it will have you, send a code to a phone via a text message or, a push notification. So I'm going to try to log in and I'm going to show you what it looks like. So let me connect my phone, and so my phone is on here right now and I'm going to try to log in. And so I'm trying to log in right here, and now it should send me a push notification. Like you see here, it says, hey, there's a multi-factor confirmation, and there's several other ways that I can use. Like I can say use another method. I can say receive code in SMS. It will send a code to me on my phone as a text message. The other way is enter code generated in a mobile app. That is, if I have the Acumatica app, I can generate codes off from there, or I can receive a push notification like you just saw that I did. So I'm going to go ahead and use this push notification. So I just tap on it, and what it shows up is, hey, approve this. So I just hit approve, and it's using my facial recognition to approve it. It logged me in, so I didn't have to do anything. All I had to do was just approve it. So I'm going to go log out and log back in as admin. So I have God mode, and I have capabilities to do everything. So I'm going to log back in as admin. The other feature which was highly appreciated by all of the Acumatica partners and very well received even by customers and prospects is color coding. So this is helpful if you have a multi-company environment, and so if you have several companies, you can actually give companies color codes or color themes for you to visualize and differentiate which company you're working in. And this prevents erroneous transactions. So you can see I'm in my products wholesale, but if I go to products retail, it has a different color theme. And basically where you actually go ahead and set this is at the company level. So if I go into companies and I can go ahead and set the theme I want for whatever branch or company I'm working with. So if I go into capital and if I get into visual appearance, here is where I select check this override colors, and I select what color I want to have for what company. So, and then going on, the other feature is color coding in generic inquiries. Almost every one of you are aware of what generic inquiries are, but Acumatica has gone a level above and come up with visual cues for you to set fields and columns that make sense to you. So I am in an inquiry which is Tim O'Sullivan created this inquiry. Basically it is all of the opportunities, and basically what it's saying is green is good, red is bad, and yellow is neutral. So if I have any opportunities that I have one, the status is one, color coded green. If my estimation date is beyond a specific date, color coded bad, because these are my opportunities that I've missed, so it's something bad and I wanted to appear in a color or whatever attracts my eyes. The other one is, if the owner or an employee name is missing, color coded neutral. The way you do this is, if you were actually into building generic inquiries, you would get into your generic inquiry and you would go to your results grid. Just waiting for this to open up. And in the results grid, there is an extra, field that Acumatica has added. It's called style. So if I see, I have a style set for status. So if I double click on it, and basically I'm saying, okay, if the status is one, that is W, then it's good, which is green, or else it's default, and default is just my white background. And then you can also see if, there's one for owner ID. If an owner ID is missing, then, if it's null, then, have it neutral or default. So you can see it's really simple to come and, give color codings to your inquiries, which will have a nice visual effect and, which will help you catch, things that you want in a very fast way. The other thing that is available from 2018, but they've made drastic improvements to it, is something called site panels. And site panels can be added only to generic inquiries. So you see, this is my inquiry, and here is a site panel. So if I click on this, basically what it's doing is it's going to open up that opportunities form in this site panel. So I can be on this screen right here and interact within the form right from this one screen. So just waiting for this to load up, and you see, so my opportunity 377 right here shows up. It shows me everything pertaining to that opportunity. Now this is something that was present in 2018, but the enhancements that they've done is you can actually now resize this to whatever size you want. Like you can drag it, make it bigger, make it small. There you can make it full screen if you click on this, and if you want to go back, you can just hit on that button and take it back. Or if you want to make it back to its original size that you'd set, you would just come and do that. Also, if you make changes, say suppose you added an owner in this opportunity and you click outside anywhere and you don't save it, it's actually going to give you a warning telling you like, hey, you made a change, so go ahead and save it. So if I do this right here, it should give me a warning. Any you see it, any unsaved changes will be discarded. And then the other thing is a status bar when you run processes. So everyone on a daily basis runs different processes within their companies. It could be, processes within the inventory module, within accounts receivable or payables. So one of the processes that I would run today is the inventory validation to actually show you what the process, toolbar or the process bar, status bar looks like. So if I go ahead and run, inventory validation, so I hit process. So what it's doing is it's basically giving me a status saying, hey, 6 process, any errors, any warnings, what number of, items are remaining, what is the total. So if there are any errors, I can click on the errors. If there are any warnings, I can click on that. So I can go ahead and cancel this. And basically it gives you a nice visual, appearance to what has happened, what are the good things that have happened, what are the bad things that have happened. And right here you see there's an error, so I can click on that and it says, the error was the thread was aborted. That is, I canceled the processing. The other thing is Acumatica has added a predefined list of currencies. So if I go back into a 2018 version, which is, right here I have a 2018, and if I have currencies, if you were using multiple currencies, you had to come here and set up currencies. But in 2019 R1, Acumatica has actually added these. So if I get into currencies, I don't know how to spell currencies today. So if I get into currencies, you'll see that all of the predefined currencies are loaded automatically. So you don't have to actually go and create new currencies. And the real-time, conversion factor still works the same. So, it would go and change whatever conversion factor is for, US to euros or euros to US. And the other thing on the financial side that they've made improvements is if you're using a multi-company environment, and if you have companies that use different fiscal years, that is, one company starts on January 1st, but the other company starts on May 1st or July 1st, you can actually have different, starting dates, and, and then you can use, these starting dates and consolidate them and see reports. So I won't be going into that today, but just to let you know that you can have different start dates for different companies. So if you use projects, and if you have projects that are international, and if you run international projects in local currencies, Acumatica now allows you to, run projects in multi currencies. So if I have a project going on somewhere in Europe or China or anywhere in the world, and if I have my company based in the US, so basically I can, do my projects in anywhere in the world in that currency, and, see my numbers in my base currency. So you see right here, my project currency is euros. There's a conversion factor to the US. That is what it says is 1 euro is 1.13 US dollars. So if I, go back to, if I see the numbers, I see my numbers in euros, but if I just do hit view base, and base is my US dollars. So if you see my numbers changing, so you see how I, transacted in euros in my project, but, someone in the US can actually just, see what the project means to them in terms of US dollars. Uh, so Acumatica also has added the feature of capturing new credit cards on the fly. And this is a feature that I'm going to show you right now. What it basically means is in the older versions prior to 2019 R1, you had to create a new payment method for a customer, and then you could use that, that new payment method. You would add a card number and, save that payment method, and then use that payment method to capture payments. But now you can actually capture new credit cards on the fly without actually creating a new payment method. So if you're using authorize.net or any other processing center, there's a new checkbox that's added. It says accept payment from new card. So if you have this checked, and if you're capturing payment on either a sales order or either on an invoice or payments and applications, if this is checked, and if you I'll go to a sales order and show you right there. So jumping into a sales order right now, and if I just go to an open one, and going into payment settings. So if I select a payment method of a card, and I say, it's Visa tokenized, I can check on this button that says new card, and then I can hit create new. So what it's basically going to do is actually pull up a screen that will actually have me input all of the credit card details. So if I am on the phone taking orders and the customer is like, hey, I have this credit card, and this is the form that you would just check this new card box, create new, and key in the card details, and actually right from this screen you would just go and capture payments. So that is a new time-saving feature that Acumatica has added. A lot of our customers today take orders on the phone, have customers giving them credit card information. So this is something that will save time. One of the other things is write-offs. So a lot of our customers actually write off small amounts for their customers, just so that they don't want to go and create credit memos or debit memos for a few dollars or a few cents. So you can actually now automatically do some write-offs within Acumatica. So the first thing where you would come and turn on write-offs is in the order types. So my order type is a sales order, and there's a checkbox here that allows me to turn on auto write-offs. The next place I would set up is customer classes. So if you want, customers of a specific customer class to have auto write-offs of a certain dollar value, I would get into my customer classes and, give it a limit. I would first check, enable write-offs for this customer class, and, set this value. So any customer created henceforth would have this limit. And then at the customer level itself, on a customer card, right on the general info tab, there is again a checkbox that says enable write-offs, and you give it a limit. So whatever number in here would actually take into account. So to demonstrate this, I have a sales order for a customer that had a write-off maximum of $20. So this order came in, for example, through the web. You had told them, okay, it's going to cost $110. So the order total was 110. You captured a payment of 110, but now when you ship it, you figured out, okay, I have a change. There is going to be a $17 additional freight cost. So I'm going to go ahead and charge this, and then I confirm my shipment and then prepare my invoice. So what I basically do is, after I prepare my invoice, you see there's a write-off of $17, which was automatically added. So you did not have to go and do anything manually, because it was set at the customer level, and because you allow for that order type to have write-offs, you've automatically told the system, or the system has automatically created a write-off for that $17 for you, so that you don't let the customer know about it. The other thing now, jumping back into 2018, is some changes that Acumatica has done on the inventory screen. So one is the inventory summary inquiry, and the other one is the inventory allocation details. So inventory summary, you see how this screen is pretty, messed up. It has a lot of information on it. And what Acumatica has done is in 2019 R1, they've made the screen a bit neater. They've added a totals column at the bottom. So, they've made the screen a bit small. They've, you know, added columns that don't make sense to this column configurator right here, and allow me to log back in. So what they've added right here is a totals tab, and it gives you a nice visual appearance of this inventory summary screen. The other screen that they've made changes to is inventory allocation details. So in 2018, if you were looking at the screen, you key in your inventory ID, and then right at the bottom, you see all of the sales orders or purchase orders, related to this item. And all of the numbers, what did you have on your purchase orders that were prepared, or on your purchase orders that were booked, or on the sales order side. But in 2019, what Acumatica has done is on this inventory allocation details. So, I key in my inventory item. Again, there's a plan. So all of my sales orders and purchase orders are now listed in the plan. But there's also a new tab that they added. It's called quantity by plan type. So basically, on the left side is all of my additions, and on the right side is my deductions. That is, all of my sales orders are my issues, and all of my purchase orders are, receipts. So I can see, okay, I have, in receipts, I have two coming in for this item. I can also, see just non-zero quantities. So what are my additions of non-zero quantities? Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and refresh my uh, login right here. So right here, and you can see, just non-zero quantities. Same here, I can expand it and see all of my records, or I can just see non-zero quantities. The other feature that Acumatica has added is uploading files. So in previous versions, you had to actually upload files, even if it was the same file for several things that needed the same file. So just in case, for example, if I had a sales order, and if that sales order had a file associated with it. So if I go to this sales order right here, you'll see I have a file associated with this sales order. So it's not this one. Let me pick a different file for, okay. So let me pick a different one that actually has a file associated with it. So you see how this sales order has a file. So, whoever created the sales order attached a file to it, and this file is called sales order example. Now, if I want to use this file anywhere in the system, not just sales order, just anywhere in the system, whichever screen allows me to attach files for this purpose, I'll just go attach it to a different sales order. So if I go to a sales order 4935, and this one has a file, that's a bad example, I'll pick up a different file. Okay, so this sales order doesn't have a file, but now if I want to attach an existing file to this sales order, I come into my files right here, and there is a new option right here called add link. So if I hit on this add link, it will open up a new screen, which will take me to the files search screen. Now I can search for that file, and I type in sales order example. So I've spelled it wrong. So, and if I tap through, so now my system knows, okay, there's a file called sales order example, and now I want to attach it to that sales order. So I hit add link and close. So now you see this file is attached to this sales order. So you don't need to, upload files. You can, just add links or remove links and add existing files in the system to entities that you wish to. The other feature is giving rejection or approving reasons. So if you are an approver of certain things within the system, you can now set your approval and assignment maps to actually uh, allow you to give reasons. So in for my demo purposes, what I've done is, if there's a sales code, it comes to the admin for approval. And if I reject it, I need to give a reason. So I'm going to, go ahead and reject this. So if I get into the code right here and hit reject, again, allow me to log in. So I'm going to log back in and get into that code and reject it. And you'll see that it's going to ask me, it's going to give a pop-up box and ask me for a rejection reason. So I can key in why did I reject that. So I go into my approvals and go into that code from there. So here, so I'm going to reject it. For this demo scenario, I have set it to where if I reject something, it's going to ask me for a reason. You can set it to where if you approve something, you can ask the system to pop up that box, which will ask you for a reason. So I hit reject, and it's like, hey, give me a reason why you're going to reject this. So again, just to capture information at the root cause level, and you don't have to call different people or send 100 different emails asking, hey, why did you reject? Right from, the person who's actually going to reject it can put in that information. So the next thing that I want to show you today is Acumatica is much talked about, and a lot of our customers are awaiting this is Acumatica's WMS module. So let's dive into the WMS module just for simplicity and ease of use. I'm going to close all of my tabs and log back in so that we don't run across the session logout again. Okay, so right here I go. So Acumatica has embedded warehouse management system within the software itself. So if you are, if you have advanced fulfillment, you have access to the WMS, which is just available in 2019 R1. And there's different things that they've added in different modules. They don't have a module as such called WMS, but in different existing modules, they've added automated warehouse management functions. So the first one is in the sales orders, they've added a section called automated operations, and it's called pick, pack, and ship. So basically what you do is you can, if you have a packing station, you can use the screen to pick items, pack items and ship items right from one screen. If you have, and all of these are available on the mobile app, which I will be showing as well. But on the desktop side or on the site level, this is where you'll see it. So you can have, a warehouse picker actually use like a laptop and have the screen open and have a scan gun, either wireless or, attached like a tethered scanner. And, it will show all of the items, and then you can do the picking, packing, and shipping all from one screen. And then in the purchases module, they've added again a section called automated operations, receiving and put away. So if you have items coming in, you can either use this screen and a scanner, or perform it from a scanning device such as an Android or iOS phone, or an actual scanner which has Android or iOS capabilities. and you can use that device to do your receiving and shipping. And then lastly, the inventory module where they've added several things: storage lookup, item lookup, scan and issue, scan and receive. So what storage lookup is, I'll talk about all of these when I actually jump onto my mobile device. So showing you pick, pack, and ship from the desktop side. So I'm going to go ahead and I've created a shipment, and I'll show you what it looks like. So, there's a sales order in the system, and the sales order is now ready to be shipped. So I've created a shipment, and I enter the shipment right here. So if I am a warehouse guy performing this pick, pack, and ship function, I would come to this screen and enter the shipment number. So it is 002538. I hit, I hit enter. So what you see is these are the different items on this shipment that I need to pick. So you can see there's a Lego, item that I need to pick. The quantity is 1. There's a machine and there's another machine, and the quantity is 1. So the next thing what it's asking me to do is scan the barcode of the location. So now I am in the warehouse. I have a scanner in my hand, and now I know where this item is. So I go to that item and I say, okay, it is in R1 S1. So I scan the location of the item. So, it took that location. Now I'm going to pick that item from that bin, shelf, or location, and now I'm going to scan the barcode of the item. So this is the barcode that is actually labeled on the item. So just for demo purposes, I'm actually typing in my barcodes, but I can use my scanner. So I'm going to go ahead and type in the barcode. So this is the barcode for my item, A Lego 500. So you see how it is turned green. So basically what it's saying is this item has been picked successfully. So, there was a quantity of 1, and I have picked that quantity of 1. And if I check on this manual view, it does add 2 or 3 tabs right here. It's called pick, pack, and ship. So let me reset that. And so 002538. I'm going to go ahead and hit manual view. So, okay. So I've picked this item. There's these 2 tabs that will show up. So I can also get into those tabs just by scanning or typing in add pack, add ship, or add pick. So I type in add pack. So unfortunately this is breaking on me, but it will open up these 2 tabs, and what I can do is now I have picked this item, and then when I go into my pack mode, I can start scanning items that I want to place in a package. And then I scan the box, I scan the items, and then I come back to my picking mode, and I pick the rest of the items. And then again I go into pack mode. If you want to be sure of what items you're placing in what package to give customers accurate information, and for you also to have accurate record. Okay, I shipped this in in a small package, so I have it all in the system. And then I can use my shipping tab to go ahead and select my ship via, and you know uh, shop for rates, and generate my tracking number and my labels right from that screen. And again, if you want a detailed demo on the warehouse management module, you can always reach out to us. And I'm going to go ahead and jump into the mobile side of this WMS application. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm using a Samsung tablet to perform some warehouse functions. So I get into my Acumatica app from my device, and while it loads up, you'll see there's a different module added on this app called warehouse management. So if I scroll through right at somewhere at the bottom, there is, warehouse management. So again, like what I showed you on the desktop side, in the different modules in the sales orders, purchase orders, and inventory modules, those functions are all tied together in this one module, warehouse management on the app. So I see pick, pack, and ship. So I can perform again my pick, pack, and ship through the mobile device. I can do a receive and put away. You know, so let's go ahead. For today's purpose, I would go ahead and do a receive and put away. I would do a receiving. So basically, I'm going to receive some items that are on a PO. So what it's asking me is scan the receipt number. Now you can either, generate a receipt from your PO, or you can actually just scan the PO number, and it would automatically create a PO receipt for you. So in this case, I'm not going to scan, I'm going to type in, my purchase order number. So just imagine I'm scanning this. So I have a purchase order form that has a barcoded PO number, or I have a purchase receipt printed form which has the barcoded purchase receipt number on it, which I could just scan. So I'm going to put in my PO number. So you see, I scanned in my purchase order number, and it says new receipt has been created and ready for processing. So if I go into the purchase receipts module, you should see this on the desktop or the on the site level as well. So you see on the top, it says my receipt number is PR001008. So if I go into purchases, and if I go into purchase receipts, it should have created a 1008 purchase receipt right here, and it says it's on hold. So let's perform the receiving. I have an item that I'm going to receive. So what it's saying is scan the barcode of the item. So I am the receiver. I have this item that is unloaded off the truck, and now I scan the barcode from that item. Now this could be a pallet, this could be a single item. So I again am receiving my AA Lego item, so I scan in the barcode, and it took the item. Now it's asking me scan the barcode of the location. Now I can have a single receiving location wherein I just scan the location once, and it could be called receiving. And I just scan it once and I receive hundreds or thousands of items into that location. And then I can use an inventory put away uh, option that is available to put away my items. So, I receive these 1,000 items in the receiving dock, and then I do a put away to their individual or respective locations. So for this purpose, I'm going to receive this item in its actual bin. So I'm going to type in R1S1, which is the actual storage location of that item. So it took it, and it says on top right here again, PR purchase receipt is received. That is, I had one item on that purchase order, and I received it successfully. So if you see on the right top of my screen, there are these ellipses, three dots. I click on that, and I can hit release receipt, or complete PO line. So for this purpose, I've completed my receiving. I've scanned my items and I've placed them in their respective storage locations. So I release my receipt. So what it's doing is it's basically now in the background going and making inventory adjustments and doing it all for you automatically right from this mobile device. So now if I go into my purchase receipt right here, you would actually see it is complete, it is released, and I put it to this location. If there was any put away history, that is, if I received it in a single receiving location and then I did a put away, that is, from receiving to R1S1, it would show up right here and it would show up their status. So I've shown a receiving and put away operation using Acumatica's latest WMS module addition to their 2019 version. And the other options are scan and issue, scan and receive, scan and transfer, scan and count. So basically, scan and issue is, you want to issue out materials. So you just go, you're in the warehouse, you go scan the item and give a reason why you're issuing it out. Scan and receive is again, just simple, you're receiving items into inventory. And then scan and transfer could be used if you're doing bin to bin transfer or location to location within the warehouse. You can perform physical inventory counts using the scan and count option and item lookup and storage lookup. So you can actually walk up to a location and scan the location of this, in this storage lookup option, and it would give you all of the items in that storage location. So if I go into storage lookup and it's saying scan the barcode of the location, so I can now say, okay, I want to see what all is in R1S1 because this is the location I'm at. And, I hit that and now I can, it scan and I can hit review. So it's actually going to pull up all of the, inventory items that are in this location. So I have, a computer, my Lego favorite item in there, a machine, and
Hey,
the same.
Uday, we're still seeing the one screen on your purchase. Oh,
Okay, sorry,
there you go. Thank you.
my bad. Uh, so I don't know what if you missed this. I was talking about the various options that are available within the WMS module, and scan and issue, scan and receive, scan and count, scan and transfer. So scan and count you can use for if you're doing physical inventories, inventory counts, or cycle counts. Scan and transfer if you're doing a bin to bin transfer, or you're transferring an item from one location to the other within the warehouse. Item lookup or storage lookup. So if I click on an item lookup, so I can basically what I'm trying to achieve here is I'm scanning an item and I want to know where exactly is this item in the warehouse, or what are the locations that this item is stored in. So I scan the barcode of the item and I hit review. So it's giving me a summary of all of the locations that my item AA Lego is stored in. So I know I can see there's 1148 in R1S1. There is some in receiving, there is some in storage. So a quick view of your inventory summary and its different locations that you could find it in. So you no more have to reach out to the warehouse manager and ask him to walk this huge warehouse that you guys have and go find this item. You can basically pull it up on the screen. So again, storage lookup. If I do a storage lookup, I can scan uh, the barcode of the location and see on this screen what are the items that are stored in this location. So I scan in the barcode of the location. So for this purpose, I scan in receiving, or I can scan in R1S1. So R1S1 is actually a storage location. So I scan in R1S1 and then I hit review and I see all of the items that are stored in R1S1. Again, this is information that you're grabbing from a mobile device. So if you're sitting in the corporate office and you ask, your warehouse associate, hey, go tell me what all is in storage or what all is in receiving. All you'll have to do is, come here, open the screen, scan the barcode of the location, and the information is right there. So, this is just a high level of Acumatica's WMS module. Again, if you guys are interested and want to see a deep dive of this module, please don't hesitate to reach out to Rick or whoever you work with, and we'd be glad to jump on a call and show the module in detail. So to summarize, we went over key 2019 R1 features that we at PC Bennett felt are amazing from Acumatica's standpoint of view, that adding this to the software. All of these features are very well received in the partner community as well, and a lot of customers are eager to start using them once they've migrated or upgraded to 2019 R1 or R2, depending on the scenario. So, again, this is it that I had for today's, webinar. If you have any questions,
Thanks,
you know,
Uday. Thank you very much. We do have one question, and if you have any questions, please go to the questions tab in the go to webinar there, and we'll get those, see if we can get those answered. Question came up: will these WMS features work for sub items and show in the same screens?
So the one thing that I know from Acumatica's warehouse management engineers, the engineers that are actually building is they are going to incorporate sub items in a future build of 2019 R2. So yes, it is coming. You just don't know which version or which build exactly.
Thank you. Another question came in: the multi-factor authentication, will it only send code to mobile device, or is email also an option?
Email as of now is yes, it has to be tested from my side, but I did see it. For ease of use, I wanted to send it to my phone, but I'm pretty sure it can be sent as an email as well. I would just have to look into it. And Rick, if you can get information of who asked this question, I can send them more information on the on the email thing.
Absolutely. Okay. Any other questions at this point? Again, this was a high level. Just wanted to show you some new features and functionality. If you do have any specific questions, please reach out to support@pcbennett.com or myself, Rick C, at pcbennett.com, and we will get those answered for you. And we do appreciate everybody taking some time today. Hope you learned something new and saw some new features and functionality that you can relate to your business. And we appreciate your business, and please look for our upcoming webinars in the next couple weeks. All right, with that, there's no more questions. I'm going to go ahead